Great news for the privacy community. For many years, I've pushed a single email client for safer email use. The platform I've been recommending as the only email app to use has been Mozilla Thunderbird. There's a reason I recommend this, and I'll get into that detail in a moment. But the limitation of Thunderbird has been its presence only on the desktop. You can run Mozilla Thunderbird on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. However, there is no mobile platform available. Well, that's about to change soon, and I'll tell you all about it, and also why this is important. Stay right there. I'm on the platform Odyssey.com, and I'm one of the top creators on there. In case I get deplatformed, please follow me there using the link in the description. My company provides privacy solutions like Bytes VPN, Brax Mail, and our newest product is the Brax 2 privacy phone, which protects your data on mobile. Brax 2 is now available on Amazon and is also on my app, BraxMe. The links are in the description. As I said, I recommend only one email client app, which is Mozilla Thunderbird. Let me first give you a little bit of background. Originally, Thunderbird was developed together with Firefox, both under the control of the Mozilla Foundation. In 2017, Mozilla wanted to decouple Thunderbird from the Firefox development effort. There were a lot of mixed signals from Mozilla at the time, and to be frank, I thought that Thunderbird support would end. But it has remained, and now Thunderbird is run separately from Firefox under a subsidiary corporation of Mozilla named MZLA Technologies Corporation. And from this separate company, it is able to receive independent donations as well as make revenue. The more popular email clients are, of course, the ones provided by Windows and Apple. Windows has two email clients, Microsoft Outlook and Windows Mail. Apple has Apple Mail, which is the default mail client on Mac OS and iOS. So most people tend to use whatever is provided by the operating system. I imagine that Outlook and Apple Mail would be the most popular. Thunderbird is likely the most popular email client on Linux. The biggest difference between Thunderbird and the other popular email clients is that Thunderbird is free and open source. So we have at least some guarantee that no sneaky tricks are built into the email client. And there have been tricks. One of the nasty features of email clients, especially those from Microsoft and Apple, is that it allows remote content to run by default and in the background. Specifically, if you get any kind of ad-infused email, the email often has an embedded tracker called a beacon. This beacon basically runs in a browser and is invisible, but simulates a website launch from your device. What that does is reveal information about you from your browser. For example, it will reveal your IP address, your user agent, or information about the specific device you are using. And depending on how you set up your default browser, this could also allow the beacon to get your location. And there are other ways to get location just from the IP address. In the past, I wrote a little test program to allow people to send themselves a beacon and then see what information is gathered about them. And frankly, it was scary. If someone knew your email address, it was enough to get some metadata about you. Understand the specific danger here. The beacon attack is passive. You do not even have to click on an email for the attack to work. The reason is that many of the popular email clients like Apple Mail and Microsoft Mail clients process the email in the background and allow the beacon to run without a user click. Because of this, I always say you need a VPN when using an email client. In my tests, however, of many email clients, I found that only Thunderbird could not be hacked with this passive beacon attack. For this reason, Thunderbird was safe to use for receiving email, even without a VPN. Unfortunately, I could not recommend Thunderbird on mobile since there was no Thunderbird support on mobile. On my de-Googled phones, I always pre-install the email client K9 since it was free and open source. However, I did not specifically test it against the beacon attack, since I no longer had a server that could host the beacon attack program. The good news I heard yesterday was that Thunderbird and K9 have now joined forces. So the original maintainer of K9 Mail for Android, Christian Ketterer, is now working full-time at Thunderbird. He will then bring his extensive background in developing Android apps to Thunderbird while having resources for other email features from the rest of the development team. The plan apparently is to change the user interface of K9 so it matches the aesthetic of Thunderbird and then add some of the more robust feature set of Thunderbird. At the moment, the two projects still exist separately and both still accept donations and are still funded by these donations. I don't know how long it will take before some initial release of a Thunderbird branded email client will be available, but it will be open source as well and community supported, just like the current K9 project is. I'm looking forward to seeing the specific features that block privacy invading beacons on K9. In the meantime, I'm happy to still also support K9 as our mobile client of choice. Unfortunately, there is no particular email client I can recommend on iOS other than to dump the iOS spy device. Thank you for watching and see you next time.